Welcome back. Earlier in the week, President Bola Tinubu said Nigeria has turned a corner and that the worst is over as the country marks its 65th independence anniversary. In a national broadcast, the president acknowledged the hardship many Nigerians have endured, but stated that the nation is now firmly on the path to recovery, growth and stability, highlighting tough decisions taken by his administration, including subsidy removal and exchange rate reform. President Tinubu pointed to rising economic indicators as evidence that the reforms are beginning to pay off. Of course, my guest tonight are political analyst Jesufemi Adeogun right here in the studio with me. Jesufemi, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Mark.
Thank you for coming. And of course, I have Executive Director, Center for Public Accountability, Olufemi Lawson, who joins us virtually. Olufemi Lawson, do we have your attention at this point?
Yes, Mark. Good evening. Thank you for having me.
All right, fantastic. Let me begin with you quickly. Now, President Tinubu's declared the worst is over. What do you think he meant by that economically, politically, or socially, so to say?
Well, while a lot of Nigerians may not want to agree with the president that the worst is over, I personally am, for the first time, optimistic that it seems so much like we are getting towards the end of the myriad of challenges that have plagued Nigeria over the past couple of years, especially when you look at not just rhetorics, promises, or what has characterized governments in Nigeria over the past couple of years, to the reality as applicable on the ground. Between May 29, 2023, that President Bola Tinubu came on board, and October 1st, 2025, I want to agree with the president that his determination, the results we are beginning to see, may be likely indicators to his assertion that the worst is over. When you look at the growth in GDP over 4%, when you look at non-oil revenue over 20 trillion, when you look at other very fundamental indices, including revenue to debt servicing ratio and all very important factors that Nigerians have had to battle with, that the economy has had to battle with, at least in the last 7 years. And now, you must, but have no other reason than to agree with the president that we seems to be approaching a near end. It may not be total, because Nigeria's problem are not the problems of the last 7, 6 years or the last 2 years. There are problems, there are challenges that we have lived with for decades, and I'm not sure any president in 4 years or even 8 years can solve this entirely. But I'm optimistic that by the determination, the zeal, the commitment that this administration has worked with, I've never, for those who know, been so, been such a person that I have so much conviction in leadership, particularly at the center in Nigeria until very recently, judging by the practical demonstration of commitment by the Tinubu administration, mainly towards the economic, towards addressing the economic challenges that have confronted Nigeria, that have reduced, us practically to a beggar's nation until very recently. And that's why I want to agree that it may not be uhuru yet, but the truth is that we are beginning to see very key and clear indicators to the extent that in the next couple of months, years, and of course, a few years to come, we can sigh, heave a sigh of relief that truly this administration has come to address those challenges that is making life almost unbearable to the average Nigerian due to the policies and programs of the past that have almost crippled us as a nation.
All right, thank you very much. He was quite elaborate there, and he did say he was very optimistic for the very first time having to hear a president talk. But if I may ask you quickly, Jesufemi, at 65 years of independence, what would you say Nigeria has gotten right and what remains broken from your standpoint?
Okay, from my own perspective, I think one of the biggest achievements of Nigeria at 65 years is being able to keep Nigeria together as one. Okay. Because from antecedents of what has happened in Nigeria, a lot of people have engaged in what they call japa, Those that did not jackpot are living in Nigeria disgruntled. And if they have the opportunity to move, they are ready to move. Now, with all this happening, our leaders have been able to still unite us, make us one. There have been a lot of agitations of they want to, some regions say they want to leave, here and there. But you can imagine if Nigeria is not over 200 million people any longer, we're going to lose some kind of power.
Okay.
So this government or our leaders since independence till now have been able to keep us together. That is the greatest achievement of our leaders.
Okay.
Yes, there are other things that are still in the pipeline that they are working on. But for me, I think with the current situation, from what Olufemi Lonsin has said, I don't think that really translates to just the basic Nigeria, on the streets. If the president said, everything is good now, it's okay for us, everything is fine, the whole problem has ended.
He did say everything is good. He said the worst apparently is over. We might begin to reap the benefits of the reforms that have been put in place. Nigerians
on the street, they want to see the benefit. They
immediately.
Immediately. Some of them can barely feed.
I understand.
And I'll say to some of them looking at me right now, go check the prices of food. It has actually come down.
Okay.
The price of beans, a pinta of beans about 6 months ago was 4,000 naira thereabout. And now it's 1,500. That's a significant shift.
Yeah.
But Nigerians, average Nigerian, we want to see the prices of food what it was before this president, this current administration, come into power.
Yeah, but we all know that it will not be possible.
It will take some time
to get to that level
because it is possible. Yeah. This government has engaged in things that will make it possible. Economic indices, yes, has opened up the market. Everybody come and buy and sell. Eventually, like I was listening to the president's speech sometimes, eventually it will bring the power of demand and supply will bring the prices down automatically. It has happened in the telecom sector. You remember how much you buy a SIM card before? It was about 35,000 naira.
Thereabout.
SIM card is almost as free now.
Yeah, almost.
So it will always force it down. But how long did it take? That is it. So are people going to die before that time comes? Okay. So that is the contention. People believe in the country. Nigerians are one of the happiest people, anywhere in the world. Right. No matter the situation, we make sure that we're happy and we are joyful. But people are also dying from this economic situation. Right. Yes, I appreciate the fact that the president is optimistic and believe in himself. First time you see a president that is so optimistic and came out to say, I feel what we are going through, and state those things that we are going through. And these are the things that we have done. We are making a progress. Give us more time. You will see it. So Nigerians, let the president go on with what he's doing. It will take time, but we will eventually see it.
All right, Olufemi, quickly before we round up from this particular topic, with unemployment and poverty still major issues, what would need to happen next to ensure a genuine economic turnaround from your standpoint, quickly, before we go to the next topic?
One fundamental step that the presidential administration must take as very important is that despite all these economic gains, despite this growth in GDP, despite this revenue mobilization effort and the likes, the president, and of course investment in infrastructure, the president must be very decisive in addressing the issue of insecurity in Nigeria. The truth is that irrespective of how much we are able to progress economically, improve our GDP, improve our revenue mobilization, improve, all sort of other statistics and data that enhances our economic prosperity, if we don't invest in our security to the extent that we can ensure job security creation, youth employment, and empowerment, all this will amount to nothing. As we speak, the president is doing enough to ensure that food security is guaranteed. Now we are beginning to see a situation whereby the prices of food are crashing at an unimaginable rate. People are going back to the farm. Production are beginning to increase. But if we are not able to secure the farms more than we are currently doing, if we are not able to secure our farmers, if we are not able to secure our communities, our agrarian communities, further than we are currently doing, then we'll go back to the past, where farmers have to leave the farming community. So security is very imperative in ensuring that there's a sustainability of the current effort and ensuring that there's an increase in youth employment, empowerment, and reduce the cost of unemployment in Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much. Well, we go on a quick break now, and Newsweek continues in a moment. Stay with us.